So did you know dehydration causes digestive disorders? Did you know that? Last week we did that dehydration can cause us to be very tired. Now we are going to look at dehydration can cause digestive disorders. In chronic dehydration, the secretion of digestive juices are less. And we know what digestive juices are? Acids. Some of them are acid, not all of them. Yeah, there are a lot of them that help in the digestion of our meals. That's a nice picture of the digestive tract there. Okay, let's look at the small intestine. The stomach content, called chyme, is highly acidic. Okay, that's one, some of it is acidic. So when we eat and the stomach, it's mixed up in there, and there's a lot of hydrochloric acid produced in the stomach, and a lot of it is to break down protein, to stimulate the enzymes to produce those that break down protein. And what the mixture in there is called chyme. The chyme will next pass along into the duodenum, the first section of the small intestine, or some people may say intestine. Now, that's the first section from the stomach going into the small intestine is the duodenum. Let's look at it. Duodenum. Duodenum. Whichever one, tomato, tomato. Because the lining of the small intestine is not protected against hydrochloric acid like the stomach lining is, before chyme enters the duodenum, it must be neutralized. This is where the pancreas steps in. Yeah. As the chyme becomes ready to pass through the pyloric sphincter, and it tells you what this is, that connects the stomach to the duodenum, the pancreas secretes bicarbonate ions which neutralize the hydrochloric acid, making it safe to enter. Okay, because if all that acid goes into the small intestines, then that's going to cause it's going to tear it up. So it has to be neutralized first before it goes there. And the next step, water is needed to produce enough bicarbonate ions to neutralize the chyme. And water is also needed for the production of digestive enzymes. If the pancreas cannot locate enough water to do its job, the acid chyme will not be allowed to move along. It will instead sit inside the stomach, significantly slowing down the digestive process. The body does whatever it can to try to protect itself.
Isn't that what causes then the acid reflux sometimes?
That's exactly where we are going. Be patient.
You didn't put it in this one.
Yes, I think I did.
It didn't come on my...
Okay. Sorry, but okay, we'll click on further down. But yes, that's one of the things that when it sits in the stomach, it backs up, and that causes acid reflux. Okay, the second part is the colon. I think it comes somewhere in here. One of the functions of the colon is to balance the water between the colon and the rest of the body. That's one of the functions of our colon. When the food goes from the small intestine down into the colon, there should be a lot of liquid there, and the colon help to balance water. The colon, when healthy, extracts water, salts, and chloride from the chyme and provides these very important nutrients into the fluid of the body. Without enough water in the chyme or in the colon itself, the rest of the body becomes dehydrated. Some of the results of this dehydration are toxicity, constipation, acidity, reduced oxygen, and eventually malnutrition. Now, it becomes toxic because everything is sitting there and there is not enough nutrients. Yeah. The constipation again is because there's not enough liquid, not enough fluid. Acidic, and oxygen is reduced because you're not getting enough nutrients to the bloodstream, so you do not get your oxygen either. Because water, sometimes we don't even think about it, but water does have oxygen. It's H2O. Water does contain oxygen also. A colon without sufficient water will produce hard stools which do not pass through and exit the body efficiently, which we call constipation. This in turn can cause a reversal of motility, putting pressure on the stomach, causing its content to move up into the esophagus, and that's where you get your acid reflux, because the colon is full, it pushes things back, and everything is pushed back up. So that's where you get your acid coming back up. Chronic constipation can also damage the colon lining. And that's one of the things that these days it's like everybody is getting colon resection. And if we are to watch what we eat, what we drink, and things like that, we may have a lot less of this. Because when all this toxic thing stays in there for so long, it's going to cause damage to the lining of the colon. Overtaxed liver and kidney is also another dangerous result of dehydration. The colon, without sufficient amount of water, can also reabsorb its water reserve. So if the colon we don't give it enough, it's going to reabsorb the reserve that is in there. Since it does not have clean water to utilize, it will use wastewater, which needs to be filtered through the liver and the kidney. So we are having a real toxic system when that happens, because it reabsorbs the waste, whatever waste fluid it can find in there, and that goes back into the system, and the liver and kidneys have to try to filter that. So we are having a really toxic body when we are dehydrated. I think that's it on that part. Food for thought. Life is a gift of God. Our bodies have been given us to use in God's service, and He desires that we shall care for and appreciate them. We are possessed of physical as well as mental faculties. Our impulses and passions have their seat in the body, and therefore we must do nothing that would defile this entrusted possession. Our bodies must be kept in the best possible condition physically and under the most spiritual influence, in order that we may make the best use of our talents. And I'll end here by saying, drink your water for your digestive health. And I'll just give you one caution here. This does not mean that you should drink all of your water while you're eating. And we're gonna do that as a follow-up next week. How much, when you should drink.